When a teenager experiences an emotional outburst, the intensity often exceeds their ability to manage it. This internal pressure point becomes a visible external shatter. Harvard Brain Science Initiative studies show that lower emotional awareness, the ability to identify feelings, correlates with severe behavioral problems. The shouting or refusal we see above the waterline is driven by feelings hidden below: fear, shame, or social threat. Since behavior is driven by hidden signals, asking, "Why did you do that?" is rarely effective. The behavior is the visible result, the emotion is the cause. Effective intervention begins by asking, "What were you feeling before it happened?" For this question to work, the adult must first provide co-regulation. Harvard Health notes that young people build self-regulation through repeated experiences with regulated adults. This means your first task is to maintain your own steady presence, as adding your agitation to their distress will only increase the emotional load. Managing conduct without addressing emotional awareness produces obedience, but it does not produce regulation. To build actual control, we must teach a specific 4-step process for navigating these internal signals. Step 1 focuses on creating a pause between a feeling and a reaction. The objective is to acknowledge the emotion's existence without immediately acting on it. We use a specific pause sentence to slow the chain reaction. "I am having a strong feeling. I do not need to act on it immediately." This provides a structural moment for the young person to admit the emotion exists before they commit to a behavior. To keep this buffer intact, avoid phrases like "you're overreacting" or "don't be so sensitive." These teach a young person to distrust their internal signals. They then have to face 2 tasks: managing the original emotion and hiding it from you. Validating the feeling while maintaining limits on behavior proves that an emotion is information, not a mandate. It creates the space necessary to choose a response rather than simply reacting. Step 2 is refining emotional language. When a young person can only describe their state as feeling bad, they are trapped in a vague distress that makes it difficult to find a specific solution. We move from vague to precise by requiring specific labels. Instead of upset, is the feeling resentment, embarrassment, or being exposed? Using this word bank helps the youth identify the exact nature of the pressure. Princeton's Logic of Emotion Lab has found that this ability to make fine distinctions between emotional states, called emotional granularity, is linked to better youth mental health. Precision helps a young person select better strategies. Someone who knows they are excluded can plan a different response than someone who is simply angry. Giving an invisible emotion a precise name opens up new pathways for problem solving. It turns a large, overwhelming feeling into a defined problem that can be managed. Step 3 moves attention into the physical body. Emotions signal through physical sensations: a tight jaw, heavy shoulders, or a restless stomach. Noticing these signals helps a young person ground themselves in the present moment. A simple grounding tool is to place one hand on the chest and one on the abdomen. By focusing on the movement of breathing for 5 cycles, the young person links their physical state to their language, stating, "I feel scared, I need reassurance." An alternative is the Jin-Shin Jutsu finger-holding technique. The youth sits quietly and holds one finger with the opposite hand, breathing naturally. This ritual of self-contact provides a calm, harmless focus that helps slow the mind down during high-stress periods. These physical tools are supportive rituals for regulation. They do not replace clinical care. A young person facing severe trauma, self-harm, or clinical anxiety needs a professional assessment and qualified support. Identifying the physical location of an emotion acts as a biological reset. It lowers the immediate sense of threat, allowing the young person to regain enough control to think about their next move. Step 4 is selecting a safe action. Once the nervous system is steady, the focus must shift from emotional support to behavioral accountability. The goal is to choose a response that supports repair. We use a 3-sentence framework to map out future behavior: I felt, I did, and next time I will. This forces the youth to connect their emotion to their action and plan a better alternative. This framework builds responsibility without relying on shame. Unlike a forced apology, which often creates resentment, this systematic repair requires the youth to actively participate in fixing the problem they created. By completing this final step, the young person moves from reacting to their biology to taking responsibility for their conduct. Feel it, name it, locate it, and choose one safe action. This sequence is a deployable system for any emotional wave. It provides the structure a young person needs to move through high-pressure moments safely. Removing emotional constraints doesn't mean accepting all behaviors. It means ensuring children grow up without a fear of their inner life. They learn that feelings carry information and that words reduce the pressure to act out. Save this checklist to use as a guide. Consistent application of these steps helps you maintain the boundaries children need while providing the adult steadiness that allows